welcome back to me, welcome back to Thailand. True Blue Tie here from Thailand. I hope you're doing well. It's one at tit, which means it's Sunday, which means it's game day. Yes, game day. For instance, Manchester City against Arsenal, or vice versa. So but welcome back to me, welcome back to Thailand. Like and subscribe, tell me what you're thinking, what's on your mind, whether you can ask me about Man City or you can ask me about Thailand. It's up to you, for instance, especially if you're coming over here, because I like to help people out as much as possible. There was not a cloud in the sky. Now it's around about 10, so there's a bit of cloud extra coming on. Very humid still. For instance, this is our rainy season, guys. Well, I saw the rain at the Old Trafford yesterday, very Old Trafford, and didn't see any reports any floods at Old Trafford yesterday. But I'm sure the toilets at Old Trafford were a bit splashy yesterday, to say the least. But in Thailand, etc., we get a bit of rain disappears, everything dries up, and everything, and even when the glaciers get flooded, etc., it's just a bit of fun to watch. Well, look at that, a bit of flood, and then it just disappears, and everything's back to normal. So, silly bad. Anyway, guys, hope you're doing well. So it's game day. Yeah, we've got to play Arse. Go the Gunners, go in London. So for instance, and it's I can't honestly say I'm not really looking forward to it. Of the three, for instance, this was like the worst one. With very good reason. Arsenal are a decent team, and also I think they've improved. They've got Eze, and why the hell did we not buy Eze? He was up for the market, etc. And he is a player you can bring on. For instance, he scored the goal against us, against Palace. Strange yesterday, there was a sending off by the Chelsea goalkeeper who came out and tackled a guy outside the box, etc. For instance, and got automatic red card. Now, when Man City do it, what's the goal? Get attacked by the goalkeeper outside, etc. It appears that, for instance, it's not an automatic red card. So don't know how nobody mentioned that one yesterday, and so I'm still a bit confused, if the guy comes out and pushes out the ball out of the area, it's an automatic red card. I always thought it was. I'm not saying I'm bitter about. Well, I am. Sorry, fuck it. I am bitter about the fact that she got cheated out of the league, the FA Cup final last season. So, for instance, anyway, never mind. Let's move on. So it's not. I won't say it's going to be an easy game. Pep had a chat. We played Thursday and then evening, and then 8 o'clock. Probably finished about 10. So by the guys got home around midnight maybe. They were back in training. I saw the training photos yesterday. So for instance, and they probably travelled down to London. So they're probably in London now. But we stayed overnight in London. And so for today's game, 4 o'clock kickoff UK. I believe that's the time. But so it's not going to be an easy game at all, especially after the results yesterday going away. Not going for us. Liverpool won again, shock horror, against Everton. And it's and the Rags won as well. So for instance, they're going to celebrate like it's Christmas. For instance, against a 10-man, well, they were 10-man as well, I can't, honestly, for instance, I was watching that game. They did look good, the Rags, etc. But Chelsea, one of these teams, Chelsea, aren't they? 1 minute I predict them finish above Arsenal this season. I don't know. I don't. They're the team who won the Club World Cup. Nobody expects them to do that. But I think they're kind of like a really hot and cold kind of football team. You really are. You just don't know what you're going to get with Chelsea. Whether the Chelsea's going to turn up or the Chelsea yesterday is going to turn up. And then Maresca with his stupid subs, and for instance, and when they did press and when they did get a goal back, etc., it was far too late. Honestly, should have done better. Chelsea really should have done. But again, and the Rags are going to celebrate like again. For instance, well, it's good because quite honestly, it just keeps Ruben Amorim in his job for one more day. So or one more week or whatever. And that was it. The once a week team. I think they've got the lowest ever fixture list now for United team because they're not in anything. They've only got the FA Cup left. Guys, okay, so going into this game, etc., a bit nervous, to say the least. LB was talking about other factors, and because I listened to a few guys, MCF lads, he's going to be on the Man City podcast today, the live from the Emirates. I listened to him, I've listened to Typical City, I've listened to Johnny, I listened to Nobbins, I've listened to quite a few people. and we've got scores of 1-0, 1-1, 0-0, 2-1 to Arsenal. Nobody thinks it's going to be a 5-1 like it was last season. So, but I'm going to myself, etc., tell you what my predictions are at the end, having thought a little bit about it. Let's go and have a quick chat. Have a look at the team of the situation. I'm going to go on let's have a look. Just read a bit of news. Bit of team news. Arsenal coming in with basically they won their Champions League this week, for instance in Spain, 2-0, etc. But they had to rely on two of the older players to come on to win the game. They've only lost one game, etc. in the Premier League. That's against Liverpool, which they basically never turned up. Again, we might get that Arsenal was to go who's too afraid to turn up. So against City, because they might be a bit more defensive because City have won the last two. So old Mikel might not have the balls to turn up against City as usual. So in all competitions they've only lost one again. So against City in the Premier League form, they've won 2, lost 2. So in Man City we've won Wolves, lost Spurs, lost Brighton, and then we beat the Rags, and then we beat Napoli. So team news: struggling during the Champions League on Tuesday night. Eze could be dropped from the left wing position onto the bench this week, should Arteta be unable to shoehorn the Palace legend into the midfield's role. Both bagged 2 goals contributions to Sam Mendes earlier this week. Martinelli and Trossard are battling out for the head-to-head coach trust on the flanks ahead of the massive match of the Premier League title race. Switching attention to the other wing, Saka remains sidelined and with injury, meaning that Nodum Oweki should be given an opportunity to continue his eye-catching start of the season. Good player. Odegaard, I think this is a key player, remains doubtful for the Gunners due to recurrent niggles and a shoulder problem, while Jesus and Havertz are long-term absentees owing to the serious knee problems. Well, them two I can forget. But Odegaard, if he's out, etc., he's kind of like they're injured for them, etc. And a lot of times when he doesn't play, not like they've got. But I just think, for instance, him would be a big miss. It's like yesterday. I thought the likes of what was his name, Mount for United was to go when he didn't play in the City Youth game. For instance, I thought he was a big miss for them. Like Rodri is for City, etc. And Odegaard would be that for that. Man City has got a significant boost with John Stones back, etc. But we haven't seen. But we've still got Ryan Ignori out, and see what happens now. I think, for instance, this is my team as well. I'm going to go through the City starting lineup, etc. Who I expect. There's a good possibility he'll start the same team. Because he wants to start with the recent winning team. That's the reason why he chose the same team against Napoli, because he wants to settle team. True, because Man City hasn't had a settled team for a long time. So, but I do believe if this option is available, I think we should go for this option. Not for any disrespect to the guy, etc. But I just think this is a good option. Donnarumma in goal, Kuzanov, Diaz, Stones if he's available, Guardiola on the left wing, dropping O'Reilly just for a bit, because I think, for instance, he's going to come up against some more experienced Arsenal players, and even though I believe in O'Reilly, etc., it may be a bit too much for him. People are saying Ake, but I'd rather have Guardiola on the left because he's played on the left, and for instance, if John Stones is available to stay in the centre. Rodri, Silva, Reinders, Foden, Harkin, Doku. Yeah, the rest of it, I'll have. But I'll swap Guardiola on the left just for his experience, his knowledge, and for O'Reilly. That's who I would have. For Arsenal, possible starting lineups: Rea, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori, Mourinho, Zubimendi, Rice, Muriweki, Gokarich, and Martinelli. That's what their possibility starting line. So, for instance, there's a lot of everybody's predicting Arsenal to win 2-1. Okay, so let's have a look at see what people have been saying. Some City players have been saying. I thought there was a embargo of Manchester City, but I haven't heard anything from the embargo. There was an embargo, but I'm a little bit so I don't know. Yeah, I know. I was on LB's show this morning, etc., and he was saying about this an embargo. So, but let's have a look at see what Pep said. Well, he joked about, for instance, what you're doing because if what you're doing taking the players. He said we're going hiking, because of the just having a joke. He said Arsenal for me is the very most solid team. They don't make mistakes at the back. I mean, very incredible solid team. They have the pace up front, course, set pieces with Nico Jova. He was there, yeah. So Pep Guardiola on whether disastrous spells has gone for this season for this Manchester City. You should ask me after Brighton. I know what people are saying that we weren't that good. It was nice hearing Big Steve talking to some City players, and they were determined to beat the United. And so, for instance, and one of them I expect was the big man, and he showed he was a 5-star that day. He really was against them. So I think we have a bit of a fractious relationship with Arsenal, and especially Haaland. Be humble, Arteta. The Arsenal throwing the ball out, the taking the piss out of what's it called about that young lad, etc. of Arsenal, of Erling Haaland's goal celebration. So they can be a little bit. I think Arsenal are like Chelsea, are very these fans, southern-based fans. Don't know what's wrong with them. They're again like United fans, etc. A lot of them are tourists, and I think they come across as quite rude. And so, for instance, and they were talking about. I remember last season when they won, and they were buying. We're going to win the league. We're going to win the treble. And there was a guy bought a T-shirt, for instance, so with Arsenal 5, United City 1. Like a flip sake, and it's, again, I think the bad losers and the bad winners. You watch that Arsenal stand and Arsenal TV. And the only reason why I used to like watching Arsenal TV is to watch them crying outside, and all the idiots all standing behind the back of the, all trying to glare onto, glare on the, to get onto the TV screen, knowing that someone's going to ask them a question they never have, and they're sat there going, yeah, and I'll hang around it, see if we can get on the TV for 2 seconds, like Arsenal fan TV. And just some bitter Arsenal fans. Arteta out, and yeah, absolutely. Bunch, really are clowns. They really are. Pep Guardiola on the 5-1. We started like many times last season, an under 14 team giving away 1,000 billion goals. A lot of times we were pretty good considering how it was. The last 15 to 20 minutes was a disaster. We forgot what to do and how to do it. Because we won 1-0 down, got a 1-1, and then the last 15 minutes we just crumbled. And Ferguson, when I arrived at City and said to Brian Kidd on the Premier League at Boxing Day, stay close to top 4 and you can think about it. Yeah, exactly. And I think, again, my personal opinion is if we go down today and lose to them, etc., LB saying that's it, gone, Liverpool already 9 points clear, and City will be out of the title race, possibly, right? Pressure's off City, let's just get onto our form, let's see what we can do. But if we're in and around, you never know where Liverpool's going to drop points. They might get too complacency. You might get a ball. They might, one of these 96 minute goals, etc., might not go in. So, for instance, and if we can get about within 6 points at the Christmas time, even 9 points at Christmas time. So you would never know. For instance, where we could. So potential. On the move and Liverpool points on Arsenal. Rodri, potential starting playing United, Napoli and Arsenal. We'll see by day. I think he's been saying what is important he plays already too. For example, the training session on Wednesday, he didn't feel comfortable but didn't train. So I will be with him on the pitch, he would feel more comfortable, of course, and he came through a tough injury, and we had to be alert. But the thing is about Rodri, for instance, he did play badly against United, and he did, for instance, so everybody was worried about we need to drop him. He had a few needles and issues, but he did play very well against Napoli. So, but also, for instance, I think it was more of a training game towards the end of the Napoli. For everybody wanted to see Man City, put 4 or 5 past Napoli, but we didn't really need to do so. We could just slowly play the game down because we got another game on Sunday. So I'm not okay with that. And he also came off after 60 minutes as well, which also gives him better rest. So yeah, if he feels okay, then happy to play him. On Arsenal spending, yeah, well, only to say that my friend Mikel Arteta, if he wins the Premier League title, it will just because it will just because they're spending, not because he works a lot. Like Liverpool, Arsenal's not. If Man City spend all this money, it's a crime. It's against humanity. There'll be protests by the lefties in the streets of London, and Man City spending too much. Yeah. But Arsenal spend a lot of money, for instance, Liverpool spending no money. Yeah, no problems at all. But again, so that's what the part of his press conference. Exactly, I was expecting a second part of his press conference, but it didn't hear anything. On Arteta, Pep, he was really done in the league, and Arteta, what he's done is unprecedented. The level he put the standard on maintaining those 10 years. For me, he's far the best coach in the world. I've always said that for place of the world. Pep Guardiola's playful dig at Liverpool. On the players, because there was a few interesting comments as well. Phil Foden, last year's performance weren't what I used to, but I feel very, very. Every player goes through those days. It's just about how to react. I've been hungry, and I never get back into the swing. The reason why, this is it. The players are human beings, and they have issues, and they can get a mental health actually gets to everybody. And even though you earn a load of money, for instance, and I think every time Foden plays for England, he gets slagged off so badly. I listen to the comments. So when he won the the Player of the Season, etc. For instance, he was, and then he played for England, didn't play well, and all they got is Foden's useless, Foden's rubbish, Foden. There's more bitterness towards Foden, like Grealish as well. Used to get it all the time. Everybody's praising Grealish now. All the fans, Grealish, because he doesn't play for Man City anymore. So is it Man City, or is it Man City or the players? Fans hate? These rival fans. Bernardo Silva, Liverpool and Arsenal are my favourites to win the title, but it's the beginning of the season, and everyone said Man City were the favourites. Last season, the favourites were City and Arsenal. Liverpool were not, and they won the league. Yeah. So there you go. So Bernardo Silva and Man City 5-1. It was a period where we didn't have the level to compete with any other team. With any team, they saw the opportunity to come after the guys who took away their title for 2 years and came after us, which is normal. It was a tough 3 months, and so there you go. Arteta and Man City on the Premier League and title race, without a doubt. Knowing Pep Guardiola really demands he puts on these players, the mentality they have in football. I remember Rodri's also come out with that word as well, mentality, and he says also he's come out and said Man City do have the mentality to win this game, and he talks about the fact are they going to be tired, for instance. He said no, it's all about mentality, and the Man City have the mentality to win the game. So with Rodri saying that, I'm believing it. Ruben Dias, I really don't care about them, Arsenal. I just care about us. And if people want to, if other people want to play games because they're of the rivalries or whatever the feels, that go ahead. But what you want to be, we believe in what we do. So we play our game to win ourselves for our families. Ruben Dias and Rodri. He's obviously a very good, important, massive important in any team, and you need to be the best players available. Overall, okay, right. I'm going to go for a prediction of Manchester City 2-1. Arsenal 1, Man City 2. Right? The reason why I'm saying that Not because I've got, you know, I'm a blue and I've got blue eyes and blue and blue hair, white hair, yellow hair, whatever. Anyway, so what it is the fact that I do believe, for instance, that will be an expectation for Arsenal to win. There will be a kind of a pressure for them to win. People talk about Man City's need to, you know, but if Man City, everybody's expecting Man City to lose. And like at United yesterday, we're expecting United to lose against Chelsea, and you know, never really turns up that way. It's football. Been watching it far too long, and but I do believe that, for instance, we can get something out of the game. I do believe so, and I'm going for a 2-1 City, and I do believe, for instance, there'll be I can't. Either a draw or a 2-1 City. I've got to go for a 2-1 City. I just think Arsenal are a very good team, and but I just don't think Mikel. Again, it's all about mentality, and I just don't think, for instance, against lesser teams, Arsenal come out and play. Against high-profile teams like the Liverpool, you saw in Liverpool, they'll come out. They'll play a more defensive role, even though at home. And I think they'd be very wary. If we would have lost the last 2 games, they would have think, oh, that'd be another 5-1. But I think they're going to be very wary of City now, and I think Man City. I think Tetu's going to be playing his defensive side, but they get an early goal, but never mind. But I just feel that, for instance, again, Man City have got the better mentality to win this game. Really have. We've got the players, Donnarumma as well. Once you got a guy like that in your net, and then you Rodri in the midfield, Haaland up front, whatever, and the other players around him, you got a good chance. So I'm going to go for Manchester City 2. Arsenal 1 or 1-2, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so because we're away. Okay, guys, love you and leave it to Blue Tie from Thailand. Have a really good day, and if you're going to the game, have a good one, and safe journey there and back. And but other than that, I'll speak to you tomorrow, Monday, and we'll see where we are at. But if you don't win, whatever. But I do believe, keep the faith, as they say, keep the faith. Love you and leave it to Blue Tie from Thailand. Take care. Have a good day.